The final day is here. Woo! Day number 5, the final day of tailgating. Kendra, what's going on?
Man, I am not a tailgate professional, but after this week, I might be. I might
I
be.
tell you what, we've done so many tailgates here, but you know what? We're here at the final one. The
Oh,
final one, and guess who we have on the
oh,
show?
we
This
saved the
is,
best for last, indeed.
oh, we did. She's coming to the tailgate ready to rock and roll. Here she is, Debbie Peterson. Welcome to the
Woo.
tailgate.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Oh, and Debbie, you got so much experience. You're an author, you're a keynote speaker, a mastermind, leadership. Kendra, the list goes on and on.
Yes, Debbie's hosting a super session at
Oh
Staffing
yeah,
World.
and
And
we're
what
going to
is it?
be diving into that.
Yeah,
Oh, it's gonna be fun.
mastering your staffing story, finding clarity. So I just want to make sure our audience knows exactly who Debbie is and how excited they should be that we get a little sneak peek and some time with her today and ahead of next week.
Sneak peek. We're doing the whole presentation right now.
There might be a couple of people who would have a problem with that.
Exactly. So real quick, before we even start, me and Debbie have something in common. You want to elaborate about that, Debbie?
Yeah. So leading up to this, little chit chat in the waiting room and everything like that, in that I started my corporate career through a staffing agency, and one that the Shark had worked at as well. So it was kind of like, who would have thought in little Erie, Pennsylvania, that
That's
we could have that
amazing.
connection? But like right off the bat, bam,
Mhm.
It's that staffing connection. You never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, Debbie, so give us the 2-minute tour. We always do this of who you are. Everybody knows who you are, but just give us a little tour.
Give us a little tour. Okay. Let's see. So, born and raised on the shores of Lake Erie. I spent the majority of my life in Pennsylvania, and now I've decided that I'd like to boycott winter and chase sunshine. So I'm splitting my time between there and Florida, while I'm not traveling around the country delivering keynotes and consulting and just having a ball, empowering others.
Wonderful.
She is having a blast too. She got so much going on. So let's just deep dive into it because we got so much to talk about the book, the Clarity book. It's amazing. And I got to tell you, I got a couple pictures. So I got to throw this one up here. Anybody that gets a copy of it, look at this. Kendra, can I tell you excitement and energy with this book?
Yes, indeed.
So real quick, Debbie, what made you write a book?
Well, actually, I wrote the book kicking and screaming, if I'm to be honest. It is something to take what you hold in your head and know that it was valuable to you, but to put it in book form and then put it out to the world to consume it, it's a little scary.
Yeah.
And so finally, I had a coach. And he said, you will get it done within the next 90 days. Like I had started it and it just kind of hung there for a while. And he's like, oh no, you're going to finish. So, yeah. And he's the one who, he wrote the quote on the front of the book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wouldn't be here without him.
I love it. So I got to ask you, behind the scenes on the book, the clarity, the green, the colors, did you guys go back and forth with that for a cover?
No, actually I knew it when I saw it, and that's just, it's that inherent trust in what it is that you believe and and that's kind of one of the ways that I live my life. And when I saw it, I knew kind of the colors that I wanted, but when that came through, it was like, okay, that's it. Yeah.
Awesome.
And go ahead, Kendra.
No. So you said that you said something interesting here where you knew it was valuable to you. And so you wanted to share it with the world. Can you just expound on that a bit more?
Yeah. And I was telling Richard about this before we got on, is that so much has been poured into me in my life by other people. People just show up, the reason, the season, the lifetime, whatever the case may be. And, they pour into you. And for me, it's about paying it forward. So clarity is what was the result of people pouring into me. because I got clarity on myself. And I don't know why it is, but clarity is my superpower. It is what I cannot not do. You know, and it's me paying it. So the book is paying it forward. It is just taking what changed my life and putting it in a framework that I can pay it forward to other people, that they can pick it up and decide that if they want a result similar to that, then they can get it too.
I love what you said there. So let's go back to corporate America, because I love that story. So you started in corporate America, and then I think you said, I'm out of here. So let's go with it.
Yeah, it wasn't a decision of I'm out of here. It was kind of more like a meltdown. It was, I mean, really, it was, and I'll share some more of this from stage as well. It's just part of my story. I mean, there was this time in my corporate career where I had been running at it hard. I've been having, success, but I was really behind the scenes. And then I kind of got this feeling, this tap that you're meant to do more, implied you're meant to kind of go out front. But that wasn't from a person. That was just kind of, again, that knowing or that whisper or that feeling that you get.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a problem because I didn't know what it meant. And for me, the way I translated it was, if I'm not enough now to go out front and do more, then there must be something wrong with me as I currently am. And that just started this whole cycle of perfectionism that is really not healthy. And it can affect you in a very profound way. And it did. So it was finding my way to the other side of that, which essentially is my journey of getting clarity. My company is called Getting to Clarity because essentially that's the journey that we're all on.
Sure.
Who are you? What's important to you? What is it that you really want? Not what you think you should, right? One of the things that I say is that just because you can do it doesn't mean you should. So, sometimes you get into something and you're like, oh yeah, this is not what I signed up for. So it's just, that's when clarity came to me, and it just showed itself in so many different ways in my life. I mean, if you sit down, when I travel, I love to go to the bar and people watch, right? So I'll sit down and I'll have dinner at the bar, and whoever's sitting next to me, they're going to get clarity, whether they like it or not, because it's just, that's how I roll, is that I have what I discovered, this gift for being able to take disparate pieces and line them up in a way that makes sense to give people clarity on a way forward. Yeah.
And in order to do that, you really do have to give up control, right? You can't try to touch every piece and move.
You have to make some good choices. It's funny because my grandson is 4. And I remember when he was first toddling around, my daughter-in-law, Courtney, would say, make good choices, and that just rings in my head, because that is the opportunity, Kendra, is it's to make choices about what you're going to put your time and your energy into. Because if you're chasing everything, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So in your book, you talk about focus. How does people focus? I mean, this day and age, Debbie, you know how it is. There's things coming at you everywhere. Yes. How can you sit down and focus?
That's part of what there's a system, there's a framework that I've created, because here's what happened is I hit the wall, right? I found my way to the other side of it. And I thought, okay, if all of these people have poured into me and this experience has allowed me to change, then how do I pay it forward, but in a way that it can be replicated? And so what I also discovered about myself is that systems are something that are a strong suit for me. So creating systems, creating frameworks allow you to focus on the right things at the right time for the right reason. And again, you have an opportunity to make a choice that you are going to implement that framework, and that you are going to make choices or decisions about what is the focus. And it cannot be everything. You do have to let control go there to a certain extent, but it's really using the power of choice.
Oh, this is fascinating. I cannot wait for your session.
I know it's coming. It's coming. So something else that I love is the passion people performance. I love that because it just falls in the sequence. Can you elaborate on that? Because when I seen that, I was like, Debbie's talking to the shark.
Well, one, I love the alliteration. But two, that they appropriately describe what it is you're going through in each segment. And the system has been modified a little bit. What I'm going to take you through at Staffing World is completely customized to the individual because it's about you answering your questions. So I'm going to pose the question, you're going to answer the question, and then you get clarity. That's how it happens. So the framework is a little bit different, but passion is at the beginning of it because it is allowing yourself to really understand what is meaningful to you, what is important to you. We are so busy being busy that we often don't give ourselves the space or the grace to really think about that. Who am I? What's important to me? What's meaningful to me? What do I stand for? What do I stand against? What lights me up? What sucks the life out of me? And until you really get clear on who you are as a person, then that's your foundation. You can't do anything after that. So passion related to yourself and to what's important to you. And that's why that is always first. Planning, you got to have a plan. You got to have a plan. If you don't have a plan, then it's spaghetti at the wall. And did you know that spaghetti at the wall is a real thing?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I work.
Your noodles are done.
Okay, time out. Time out. Tell me about this, girls. I don't know this. Go ahead.
Yeah.
If the pasta is done, it will stick to the wall.
Yep.
Oh,
If it falls off the wall, it's not done yet.
It's
I mean,
not done.
literally, it was all over the kitchen wall. It was so cool.
that's great. Then you have to wipe it down. It stains everything.
Yeah.
There.
You just throw one noodle, you're good.
Oh my
Okay, so I'm going to try that and put it on a video and share it to you both and see what happens.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah. But if you're, if you're not picking the things that are important to you, if you're not having a plan, then you're just trying everything. You're not focused. It's too many things. So having a plan keeps you focused. And there's a way that I will share again in the framework for people to very quickly build a plan that's going to take the vision that they create and get them into action, because the vision and the things you think of and you dream about isn't really worth anything unless you put some legs underneath it that you can.
Oh, this is so helpful. You think about how, well, for me personally, I get stuck with analysis paralysis sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I just need to make sure I read up enough on this and have this list and have this, and these slides are perfect and whatever it may be. And just to be able to get from point A to point B in a clear line is so powerful. I'm really, really excited to learn more about this framework.
Well, then you're going to like the framework, because the very last step of the framework will end your analysis of paralysis.
That's wonderful. That is wonderful. I had to embrace the idea of iterations in the last 10 years of my career, because I always just thought I had to be perfect the first time around. And I'm sure there are plenty of rising stars in our industry who feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
And no, you have to iterate,
and people is part of it as well, because we don't do anything alone.
Mm-mm. No, we don't.
And people can shortcut your success.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, people should be leveraged, and it goes both ways. So, who you can help and who can help you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in our industry, girls, you know that. I mean, staffing industry, it's a teamwork effort all the time.
Oh, it is. And I'll tell you what, I had the supreme pleasure to talk to a number of individuals in the staffing industry from various companies and various roles. And we did like a focus group so that I could ask some questions and really get to know more about the industry and a day in the industry. And even though I started my corporate career, through a staffing agency, and my son started his corporate career through a staffing agency, I'm familiar with the industry, but I've never worked for a staffing agency or in the industry overall. And I had the opportunity to ask them why it was meaningful. And I'm not going to spoil a surprise, but that is such an important piece of it and just really learned about the people and the heart of the people that are in this industry. So it was terrific.
Oh, good deal. Well, you have not been to a conference until you've been to a staffing conference. I will say that.
Oh, staffing world, it's like, yeah, it's like the Super Bowl of staffing. Seriously, Debbie.
It
You're gonna
truly
love
is. Hence the crowd behind Richard over here.
Well, and now I know I need to bring my red cowboy boots.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Debbie, this crowd behind me, I'm in a bubble right now. They're screaming your name. They can't wait till Thursday. They're like, Debbie, Debbie. So something else about performance. At the end, you talk about performance there, you know, so you put all this together. How do you get your body and your engine to perform all this?
Well, one of the things that you have to realize is what gets in your way. So a lot of times people will, you know, they can do all the steps. They can make the list. They know what they want to do. They can make decisions. They can make choices. And yet sometimes there are things that still get in the way. And so performance is a hefty piece of it, but it's what gets in the way of that performance as well as what's going to move you forward in your performance. And you can't really, it's two sides of the same coin. You can't have one without the other.
Makes sense.
Love it. And something else you talk about is speak up and advocate for yourself. I mean, this is one, I think it's big. A lot of us, I think sometimes we don't want to speak up for ourselves. Can you elaborate about that?
Yeah, I actually have a program called Step Up, Speak Up, and Show Up. And
Nice.
The step up is about the attitude. And so that's why it comes first. I mean, your mindset is like a muscle, and it takes some work to get your head in the right place where you are willing to speak up for yourself, right? So in that particular program, there's like a 3-step process that you can look at your mindset, that you can get ready to step up so that you are advocating for yourself. And kind of once you've gone through that, then you're ready to speak up. But also speaking up isn't all of it. It's showing up. So, you know, your communication is so much more than your words. It's your physiology too. So, and that is the first thing that people see. It is the first impressions. It is how you hold your physiology. It is, you know, making eye contact with people, just all of the things that go with your verbal communication that are nonverbal when it comes to advocating for yourself. That's just as important.
Very true.
And this is good stuff, isn't it, Kendra? I mean, this is breaking it down. Debbie, I love this stuff. Seriously, this is stuff that I eat and sleep all the time. And it's
it's actionable.
It's
your whole life. This is just not for your career. This is for your personal life too.
It is. And, you know, the framework that I'm going to share is a framework that you can use wherever you point it at. So I'm going to have all of those lovely people in the audience, and I can't wait to meet them. And when they go back, this is something that once they understand the framework, they can use it with their teams. Once they understand the framework, that this can become a strategy discussion for their shop, for their, for their business, for how they want to, affect their community or their industry, if they're industry specific. So the framework, the same 5 steps, can point anywhere. It can be, if you're ready for retirement, okay, point it at that. If you want to donate some weight, point it at that. I mean, it works no matter where you point it. So it's very versatile.
This is the framework of life, Kendra. You know that, right?
Well, I'm excited about this. We're building
exactly. Look at this super session. I mean, and you got some great people facilitating. You got Joni, and I think Celeste is part of it, right?
That would be
and I've had a conversation with Joni, and man, talk about a mover and a shaker, and somebody who is just making things happen. She is one impressive woman. I was delighted to be able to have some time to talk with her.
Well, she was on a tailgate yesterday at high noon, so she's on at the same time you were yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, good deal.
I mean, that's going to be a great. I got to tell you, Kendra, when we have the panel, that's going to be incredible on Thursday, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Absolutely. I plan on taking this and applying it to building this new strategic partnerships program and advanced partners, applying it to this next phase. I'm, 43, Debbie, and I want to plan to, I want to make sure that when I'm 53, I'm in a wonderful, wonderful place. So I have lots of ideas of how I'm going to apply this. And I just can't wait to learn more.
Debbie, do you hear what she said?
Panel's going to help you with that, because it's like they're just there to love on you, to share their wisdom and their guidance. That is the beautiful thing. So again, that's back to people helping you. You're leveraging what it is that they've done and their knowledge and expertise to be able to move forward in a more exponential way with what you want to do. So absolutely. I just love the wisdom in the room, because it is not just from the stage to the audience. And that's not how I roll at all. It's like, okay, how do we get people sharing? That is when you really get momentum.
Hey, real quick, did you hear what Kendra said? 43. Come on now. I wish I was 43 again.
No. Me too.
Gosh, I know.
I had to say that.
I can never win.
It's all good. You know, one thing I love about this session, it's all lady leaders. I love that. And that's what I love about everything like that. Yeah. Especially in our industry, I love when you guys are taking charge of this. So I'm excited to sit back and take it all in, Debbie, because I tell you what, this framework thing, there's the AI stuff going on in staffing world in this, but to wrap it up, the final day with the foundation that you can take this home on the airplane and start using it the next day is amazing.
So, and here's the deal, the framework, the system, it takes everything that you've consumed during staffing world, and it will show you where you can apply it. Like, you will know what it is that you've picked up and how it fits into this. So it's immediately taking all of that great information that has come before, putting a bow around it so that you're using it right away when you leave.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Because there'll be so much great information in Nashville.
Oh, I mean, I can't wait. All right. Before we get out of here, Debbie, any more teasers about the presentation? Can you give anything else out?
My promise to you is that it'll cause you to think, that you will think differently about how you can make an impact, whether that's in your career, your leadership, your business, your community, your industry. And it will really give you that clarity to get into action. So it is about helping you create that vision and then getting it into action so that, you're put on this planet for a reason. You are meant to make an impact.
Yes.
So let's go. And that's what comes as a result of this. So
wonderful.
Yeah. Woohoo, yeah, hot dog. Okay, so I got to ask you a couple questions here, Debbie, real quick. What's the attire going to be? Because we talked off stage. Tell everybody, you've been on a ranch before, right?
I have, yeah. And as a matter of fact, that image behind me on the wall is part of the ranch. It's the same image and it's different colors. It was out in New Mexico, and I was a project manager, and it was a working ranch. And I did, I learned more about modified rotational grazing and, animal herding techniques and just low stress animal handling and all of these hot wire, the whole bit. I am a city girl, but I did learn a lot out there. Let me tell you.
That's so incredible.
So will there be any country western outfits for the presentation, you think, or what?
Not for the presentation, but you may see one if you pass me in the hallway. Now that I know.
Yeah, no, my boots are packed. I'm heading out early tomorrow, and my boots are packed.
Oh, my boots are packed, and the cowgirl hat. Okay, Kendra, you're going to ask her another good question.
Oh my goodness, yes. Favorite country music artist?
Oh my goodness.
Who is it, Debbie?
That is not fair.
I know. I hate being put on the spot for these type of questions.
All right, I'm going to say Patsy Cline.
Oh, good.
Oh, you went way school. Yes.
Oh, that was a great pick. Yes.
Crazy is my all-time favorite song.
That is a great song.
I have to play this.
And I'll tell you, I'm epic when I sing it, and nobody's around.
And nobody's around.
No, time out. You got in Wednesday? Kendra, I was going to challenge her to karaoke and say, you got to do it. Come on.
There'd have to be a little bourbon on the front side, and I'm not going to do that before I speak. So
That's
no.
fair. That's fair. I respect that.
Oh my goodness. Everybody love is Dolly Parton. Everybody has to love Dolly. I call it Dolly Parton. I mean, come on.
Of course. And not only from what she has accomplished in the industry, but her heart as well.
She's
and
human,
how
like a
she
beautiful
has
human.
helped other people. That's, when you pull the curtain back and you see that, and it's just like, oh,
Agreed.
Yeah, she has the foundation. She just loves life to the fullest every day. And everything she touches turns to gold, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, before we get out of here, I'm going to give a shout out to the sponsors here. Here we go. Advanced Partners. They put the fun, F-U-N, in funding. If you need funding, you need to call Advanced Partners. All right, Debbie, one more thing. Have you been to Nashville before at all?
I have. I was there. I think I've been there a couple other times, and I've been to Gaylord, Opryland, where we're at. So,
any favorite restaurants? Any tips?
oh,
you give people?
what is the one in the center? The old. What is the restaurant?
In the center at Gaylord?
At Opryland, yeah.
I don't know. I have never been there.
I've never been there
I've
either,
been in
so I don't know.
Nashville. Love Nashville, but I have not
Yeah,
been
but
there.
it's the steakhouse in the center, I think.
Good. Okay, good to
The
know. I
name
think we're having a dinner there on Wednesday night. So good.
But that was delicious, and they make a mean old fashioned.
Ooh, good. Wonderful.
Oh, so we
All
know
right.
Debbie's drink of choice, old fashioned, right?
Yes,
Old fashioned and Patsy Cline. There we go.
Yep.
That's the framework right there.
My kind of lady.
Okay, Debbie, before we get out of here, we do the famous on 1, 2, 3. We're going to do yeehaw to Nashville. You ready to give me a yeehaw?
I'm ready.
All right. You want to do the countdown, Kendra?
1, 2, 3.
Yeah! Hey, Debbie, thank you so much for coming on, giving a preview, talking about your book. If anybody gets a chance, definitely check out her book. I believe you can get it on Amazon, right?
You can. Yep.
Yes. And I can't wait to give you a fist pump and a hug on Wednesday night for sure. Me and Kendra, thank you so much. Thank you, everybody from the Tailgate family here. We had a great week here, and we wrapped it up with Debbie. So much fun. I'll see you in Nashville, Debbie.
See y'all in Nashville. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.